Let's talk China. Nothing weird happened to this Chinese actor by China Insider with David Zhang. Yeah, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna look at that. We'll look at that. What happened to this actor?
There's an audio file circulating online.
Okay. Well, I know who's now after me. Okay. Okay. That is concerning.
A man is heard screaming and crying. He's calling out to two dogs, Ham and Boone. These are dogs belonging to Alan Yu. That, in fact, is Alan's voice. The last thing that the Chinese regime wanted was a social event so massive it would cause upheaval in its censorship and...
That's crazy. That is crazy. Is this actually a man dying? That's wild. That is absolutely what, bro. Oh, this would have been a video for like yesterday.
Control. The death of a B-list actor named Alan Yu or Yu Menglong. The audio that we just played, when compared with Alan's voices in other videos, it's clear many people.
That man is dead. That man is dead. What? 100%. That man is dead. Nah, that man is gone. That guy is gone. We just witnessed the last moments of this man. That man is gone.
Well, including myself, believe that that is Alan crying out to the possibility that on that night of September 11th, his dogs were sent to paradise just shortly before he was. After the tragedy of Alan, initially people believed that
his dogs as well. Is that why he cried? His dogs? Never mind. And then himself. Wow, this is a wild. What are you guys sending me?
Dogs had been taken to another loving home and that they were kept safe for after Alan's passing until these audio files were leaked about 3 to 4 days ago. Now it added another layer of cruelty to the perpetrators. Why are we talking about dogs? Well, imagine this. If American B-listers, say Alexandra Daddario or Ansel Elgort, died in a sudden tragic fall from a building, God forbid that happens, I'm just trying to illustrate the example here, one may not question the death itself. But if those deaths resulted in censorship cover-ups, and even after 3 weeks, not a proper
censorship cover-ups, but who took out the dogs and what did he do? Because that's not normal. Oh my God, this is horrible.
Police report to be made, and when even simple details don't stand against the scrutiny of the internet, chances are you begin asking questions. Here's the truth about the death of the Chinese actor Alan Yu. The Chinese internet, the fans just want to know the simple truth. Who was the murderer? Because at this point, it was not a fall from the building organically. It was not an accident. It was not a drunken behavior. It was not an overdose. But people believe that this was a group of powerful individuals who were cruel enough to cause anger, pain, and suffering.
Powerful individuals. I am really curious what he did
to this actor before he was tossed out and before he was essentially taken from this world for something that they thought he needed to be eliminated from. And to top it off, there's a zero accountability in this case. Now, the group of people that are allegedly involved in ending Alan Yu that night, raping him, and also tried to open his stomach to...
What did they do?
...this world for something that they thought he needed to be eliminated from. And to top it off, there's a zero accountability in this case. Now, the group of people that are allegedly involved in ending Alan Yu that night, raping him, and all...
Doing what? Nah. What? Yeah, bro, nah. China's a dystopia, 100%. Oh my God. Whoa.
Also tried to open his stomach to get this USB stick out, which contained.
Wait, opened up his stomach. Why did he eat a USB stick? What the actual fuck? After this, though, this is wild. This is, in fact, wild. I'm sad. The case of Kaya gets cold while her neck meat gets warm. Why? I heard the forbidden fruit, grape. What the actual fuck? I'm like this cat meme. The cat standing on two legs in the snow, looking somewhere, and being like, "The fuck they doing over there? The fuck they doing over there?"
Information on money laundering. Of the 17 people so far, there's really only 5 or 6 names that have been publicly known, and they're all inside the entertainment circle. The first one is Jing Guangguang, or G, a screenwriter. Now, he's also an avid Rolex collector. He often shows it off on his Instagram. This detail is pretty important later. The second person is Chen Qing-song, or C, and he's a director. These two are openly gay, and they're believed to have sought after Alan along with the others. And there's a photo in the aftermath.
Openly what?
These two are openly gay, and they're believed.
That man was not raped by a woman. Oh my god.
To have sought after Alan along with the others. And there's a photo in the aftermath of the incident. You see these two here holding hands. There's also a female star named Song Yi-ren, or S, as well as another male actor, Gao Tai-yu, or T. Initially, Chinese internet believed that the force majeure behind this was a CCP official's offspring named Xin Qi, a TV producer. And CGST are the 4 people who work under Xin Qi to create this disastrous night for Alan, and then to basically are the main perpetrator. At least that's what the information we're making out to be. But strangely, later people started to shift the attention onto G, who is this Rolex collector, because the apartment where Alan...
That is crazy. That is crazy. They want this man gone, absolutely reduced to nothing. Dystopian indeed.
Fell from, allegedly, is actually belonging to G. He owns the apartment, as well as 2 Rolex watches that were found in Alan's pocket also belong to G. And G is now believed to be the grandson of a very powerful CCP official named Li Peng, who has, again, a marriage connection to another CCP official. And with that, clearly he has a huge political backing, and he's untouchable. It's unclear who the rest of the 17 people are. There's been many guesses of the list, but obviously there's no official confirmation. And it's unlikely that any of these people would face any criminal charges or accountability. They have a...
Yeah, not happening. Nope, not happening. They wanted him gone. The government wants him gone. If they like, what are you gonna do against the government? Nothing.
Very strong CCP connection, whether they're offsprings of powerful CCP officials or anything else related to that. The point is, this really angered the Chinese people. If you're handsome, don't pursue a career in entertainment in China. That was the conclusion that many started drawing. And that was a warning that, somebody out there is going to target you for your looks. It sounds cryptic, but it's not because you're good looking, it's bad for business. But after Alan Yu's tragedy, many people started to go back to some of the more strange deaths that had occurred in the past and relate that.
I mean, yeah, kind of, I guess. I'm surprised that the Chinese are angry. Not that this has any consequences.
To what happened recently to Alan, and they really find out that, yeah, this has been going on for a while. If you haven't seen the first episode where I go into more details on the initial part of this tragedy, I'll put the link here and you can check it out, where I focus more on the actual death itself. And this one is going to be more about what has since transpired from that initial event. It's more than 20 days since Alan Yu's passing, and Chinese internet continues to mourn for him using different ways. Obviously, the censorship has already kicked this story to the curb, and no negative or unconfirmed official sources are allowed to be published online. Chinese internet users have been using fish in place of Alan Yu's name.
Fish? Interesting. Interesting, okay. That's an interesting way of replacing words, I guess. Instead of fish and you. Interesting.
because it's his last name Yu sounds like fish. It's a homonym. So they use fish to anytime they're talking about Alan Yu. Here in this video, internet users comment underneath a state media news broadcast, and they also are doing this on their other official videos as well. In this video here shown during a live stream of a police officer, the scrolling comments across the screen are all asking for a proper investigation into Alan Yu's death. Of the 17 people whose names...
Yeah, that's not happening. Sorry, boys. That ain't happening.
might have appeared allegedly in that list of the people there that night. Many have received boycotts from their TV shows, movies, or even concert sales. This is a way for Chinese internet users to show that they still want to find justice for Alan Yu. And people inside China began to look at other actors, how they're responding. Did they also endure the same Harvey Weinstein type of abuse? Or in China, which obviously the uniqueness of it is that many times it's the CCP officials who have the power to do this, not just the regular producers. This is actor Hu Ge, China's top male actor. He recently said that if he didn't switch lanes in acting style, he would have lost his life. Many speculated that he was referring to how he used to go for the handsome image, and suddenly he switched to this very gruff, very beard-looking.
What the fuck? Wait, you get annihilated you get sent into the gulag if you're too hot, and then you have to switch up roles and like your looks. Otherwise you get actually sent to the gulag? That is crazy. Yeah, China bros. How about you explain that to me if you're glazing this country so much?
Middle-aged man type of vibe. So many people speculated that what he was trying to say was that when he was doing the handsome, actor type of style, he was probably getting these, invites or getting these approaches, and he had to switch lane to looking like a middle-aged man with beard and mustache in order to avoid those type of people. Other celebrities have also mourned in different ways. Some cried, some sent messages, but clearly, nobody dares to talk more about what's happening there. And that brings us to the main question. Why is China still obsessed with finding out what happened to Alan Yu? And why is it that after 3 weeks, the attention to his story is still so high? Or at least in China. Well, simply because Alan wasn't an actor, he was a slave. And that's what more details suggest. That over the span of 10 years of him being in the entertainment industry, he was really not allowed to flourish as an actor, but rather he was essentially being used as a toy or used for other people's entertainment purposes. For too long, Chinese people have believed that they
other entertainment purposes? What do you mean by other?
Weren't so lucky. If you belong to the middle class or the low income class in China, chances are in your life at some point, the CCP will come after, will be screwing over you. And so this was the common understanding. For those that they thought were up in their ivory towers, maybe the celebrities, maybe the high income class in China, those that hold power, for a short while, they thought that these people were untouchable. There's no way that the CCP is going to go after them. And yet the death of this actor proved that nobody's untouchable. Every Chinese person at some point can be the victim of the CCP's power. Photos that internet users have found suggest that Alan had a visible bruise on his
That looks like a bruise, and that looks also like a bruise. What did they do with this man?
Face, which he covered up with makeup, as well as photos showing him hiding his injured hands. Some even claim that during the live stream he had done before, he was gesturing a help signal.
也不是 PK， 也不是有两个对话的那个。
Okay, now let's get into the rumor part. This is where things started to get crazy. There's even rumors that apparently Alan's murder was broadcasted on the dark web, and that to watch it, it cost $10,000 US to be able to watch it, like a ticket to this event, and it was live streamed. Now,
let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's actually hope not. Ooh.
I've never been able to find any confirmation to this type of stuff, so we can all just say it's probably speculation. Could it be possible? Yeah, but what are the chances of that really happening? Because we have no proof that this was live streamed, and if it really was on the dark web, I think at some point we'll see it publicly.
Yeah, somebody would have just eventually leaked it. I don't think that's the case. Somebody would have eventually just leaked it.
maybe a censored version or something like that. So I don't believe this is real. I think it's just a rumor. But it does show us something, though, because it shows us there's an eagerness to find out what the truth really is. What is real is this talk of a good taste when it comes to Alan. One of the people allegedly at the event, Chen.
Okay, what does this say? Yu Menglong fell to his death. Director Cheng King-song posted delicious and quickly deleted. Yeah, get this freak out of here. That's freaky.
Or C. C posted this message on the night Yu died, and he quickly deleted this post, which just reads tastes good or good taste. And the same thing he posted 9 years ago, the exact same post when another actor died as well. So it sparked speculations that what.
So what this is implying is that this is not the second time he did something to an actor potentially, or was involved in something that did happen to an actor.
Was he referring to that somehow this murder party for Alan was a good tasting one? What did he mean by that? And so that really drew a lot of attention to.
Well, you did mention that he was allegedly raped. Huh. Oh, I do not want to know. Oh, nope, actually not.
See and what they're really into. And you can also guess why there's these wild rumors about a dark net version of his murder video, right? Because, well, you have these people who are tweeting weird stuff. And another one of these rumor-esque detail is an alleged autopsy report of Alan Yu. Again, there's no way to confirm this, but if you read up on the details, it seems like it lines up with what happened that night. So in this report, apparently it's screenshots, it's photos here of text, so I'll try to just explain what they're talking about. The person has suffered serious trauma to their head, stomach, and chest. There's also evidence of grape in the rear part of his body.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, absolutely freaking not.
Now, these details, if you look them up, it suggests that this person went through some type of torture and some type of trauma that before his passing, and he clearly was raped and possibly multiple times, who knows, but these are the details that clearly lines up with what people believe happened to Alan that night. But again, there's no way that we can tell this is the same person, right? We can't even tell if this person was in that hospital or in that area that received the autopsy, because this happened in Beijing. Could this person also be, somewhere in China or maybe out of China? Who knows? And other speculations get even more bizarre. So this year is Xi Jinping's animal year. Animal year in Chinese zodiac basically means the year you were born. So for Xi, it was the year of the snake. And this year again is the year of the steak. So that's your animal year. That for Xi to avoid any type of problems with his power and control this year, he needed to perform a sacrificial ritual, meaning that blood needed to be spilled in order for him to get rid of all of his bad lucks. And so this included a series of arrangements like the military parade, which is, I guess they found somebody who can, do feng shui or superstitious stuff, right? That CCP officials obviously believe this stuff a lot. I even heard a story where they, there's problems in this military branch in a base, and nothing solved this problem except for when they put this giant piece of stone there, and that suddenly cleared the field or the feng shui, and things went back to normal. So, they do believe in this stuff. But this one is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that's a bit far-fetched. When he did say that he had information on money laundering, so probably that's the reason, right? I think it'd be a bit far-fetched for this to be a ritual. I don't know, why would also grape be because a part of a ritual? I don't know. Nah, not really. I don't think that's the case. However, they do believe in the occult or something like that. I don't know. Weird.
Because it's saying that Alan was a sacrificial product of this ritual that they had to perform in order for them to keep Xi Jinping in power. Like, how can you ever confirm that? This is just rumors, right? Like, you and I both are shocked at even possibly that this could be thought about when someone passes, but this is pretty wild stuff. But I do think, while we have to be very cautious about rumors like this, there's some stuff that is worth talking about. But we do see an engagement trend among Chinese.
Yu Menglong's bizarre fall to his death sparks online reminiscence about Ren Zhao's naked death, raising questions about a cover-up of the truth might be. What are we watching today? This is about a dead Chinese actor who was possibly brutally, allegedly annihilated by the Chinese government.
The internet users in a road of rediscovery. What do I mean by rediscovery? Well, basically they went back and they looked at old cases, strange deaths that happened to other celebrities. For example, this one in 2017, a female actress, she also fell from a building. She was without any clothes. And then she was also given this drunken fall from the building.
When actors start falling from buildings often enough, then it's no longer coincidences. It becomes evidence. I don't know.
Verdict, the same one that they gave to Alan Yu. So now people are speculating, whoa, could this be what also happened to that celebrity? You know, could this have happened to other people? You know, this person, what they said on the show, could that also be because of what happened to them? So people started to talk this, the whole topic has expanded beyond Alan's personal situation, but also looking deeply into what the entire industry is like. And this is really bad because the CCP doesn't want this to be talked about. They've tried everything. They've censored the whole event, like I mentioned. But they have no control over the curiosity that has sparked the further investigations online by people who are just, you know, fed up with how much control and censorship there are. And because they've realized that Alan's was not the first case, it won't be the last. This is...
Of course it won't be. I see... The producer said the same phrase twice for different actors. That is already a very clear sign that this might be going on for longer. And it would actually not surprise me if that is going on longer. I mean, when an actor literally says he has to switch up the style of acting and the roles he has to take, otherwise they would just like take his life. That is a clear indicator, in my opinion. That is a clear indicator that this is likely going on for longer. And I'm really curious how much they're gonna find out. Because yeah, the audio in the beginning was really damn terrifying. The audio in the beginning was really terrifying. There was a guy online that explained why secret societies do horrible things together. It's so they all go down together, so it forces secrecy plus adrenaline rush, apparently.
This is really, it has kicked open a new door for something that the CCP can't control, because there's no physical protests, there's no demonstrations, there's no public outcries inside China. Everything is being done online. Even the silent resistance, you know, it's not to a massive scale. But yet it has brought a transformation, I believe, onto how people view China. Thank you so much for watching this episode, further explaining the details around Alan Yu's death. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like, comment below your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. I don't even want to hear the gruesome details. Like, already hearing that they first, essentially, allegedly killed his dogs, and then the prospect of him also being raped. Yeah, I don't want to hear any more details. This is already, and the audio in the beginning is already where it appears that he is crying because of his dead dogs. Yeah, I think I've heard enough from this. Wow, this is horrible. And the people that are responsible are probably never even going to get charged with anything. That's the problem. They're likely not even gonna get charged for anything. They're not gonna go to prison. Nothing's gonna happen to those people. That is horrible. That is horrible.